Is it dead? Are you for real? Oh no. Just took a while. Okay, so this is the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, arguably one of the most popular flagship Android devices out there. And I am an iPhone user. I currently have the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So this is pretty new to me. I've never used an Android device before, but I have been keeping a pretty close eye on the Android competition or the Android market out there because I've been seeing it and I've gotten interest in it. So kind of to give you a little bit of background, I have been an Apple user, an iPhone user since the iPhone. My first phone was the iPhone 5S, then I got the 6, then I got the iPhone 6s Plus, then I got the iPhone 8, followed by the iPhone 11 Pro Max, iPhone 14 Pro, and currently the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So I've been in there in the Apple ecosystem using iPhones for a long time. Now, not just that, but I've also been using Apple products. So, like I said, I have the 16 Pro Max, but I also have an iPad Pro, I have a MacBook Pro, I have AirPods Pro, I have what else? Apple Music, I have the Apple Watch, I have iCloud Plus, I have an Apple TV, and I have a few more Apple products as far as hardware, like the trackpad, and that's it, just those products. So I'm pretty into the Apple ecosystem, and I use all my devices seamlessly together with iCloud and Apple Music. So trying something new is definitely going to be a challenge, or not. So I'm here to kind of find out myself. The goal for this video is kind of just to see if I can use an Android device and get used to it and not miss too many features from the Apple iOS, iPadOS, everything ecosystem. And to be honest with you guys, I just use my phone like a general user. I use it for browsing social media, watching content, communication, basics. I also take photos and videos, but nothing too out of the ordinary like making YouTube videos on my iPhone. And also, I'm not too heavy on the whole customization thing, so everything is kind of, I use it how it comes on the phone. So if the phone comes like this, I'm not gonna go out of my way to completely customize it and make everything green and match the wallpaper and everything. No, it's just more like, if it's like this, I'll use it like this, and maybe I'll change the wallpaper to a good photo I like or something, but you know, nothing too Android like, more iOS like, because that's what I'm used to. So the S25 Ultra, the reason why I got it is because this is what's most comparable to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, you know, the best of the best, everything with the bells and whistles. Now the S25 Edge did just come out, and I did want to try that, but I wanted to get the most out of this comparison. I wanted to get the best battery compared to the best battery that I've had on the iPhone 16, and the display, the cameras, everything. Okay, so let's start from the beginning since I got this thing. I've had the urge to want to try Android, so I got an Android. I went to Best Buy and I went to go buy a Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, but I was like, no, I wanted to get the best comparison or the best use out of this, so I got the S25 Ultra. So I'm not gonna go too far into all the specs and everything because we're already in June and the phone came out back in February, I believe. So I'm pretty sure that, you know, if you're an Android geek especially, you know all the details about the S25 Ultra. So I'm just kind of here to give my average consumer look on the phone. So after going to Best Buy and looking at both of the phones, I decided to get the S25 Ultra. I brought it back and I unboxed it. And I took a look at it, and man, it's a good looking phone. Setup process was pretty simple, pretty iOS-like, I can say. I'm used to setting up iOS, so it was pretty simple setting this thing up. You know, they even prompt if you want to switch from an iPad or iPhone or iOS device, and it was pretty self-explanatory. I also bought some phone cases for the phone, and I bought a screen protector, and I put on the phone case, which I don't really like. This whack old case. Or I thought, okay, whatever. I thought it was kind of like one of those Apple cases that you get. It's a little more firm, but thicker. Not as thin as this. This is just a... This was a $12 case. So I did prefer a little bit more beef to it, but you know, it's a good case either way. After putting the case on, the phone prompted me to do some biometrics to set up the lock screen. This is something that I've actually been wanting to try. I have never used the fingerprints. Pin and fingerprint. Okay, let's set a pin. Pin set as screen lock, okay. Fingerprint. So I've never used the fingerprint scanners ever. So okay, there you go. After setting up my fingerprint and just a few more prompts, I was able to get to the home screen. Galaxy AI. Cool. Okay, so Bixby is a thing that I was questioning about. Is Bixby like being, I guess it's not being replaced by Gemini. Samsung Wallet, I'll do all this later. Agree. Let's do light. Okay, we're all set up on our brand new S25 Ultra. Home, take me home. We're here. I did want to try and go a whole week with using this phone, but honestly, I've gotten used to it so quickly just because I use my phone in a simple way, just like an average consumer, that I don't think I need a week to give a clear comparison to it. But I can say I really like the phone. It's a really, really good device. The camera hardware is amazing. I did take some pictures with it, and I've gone my daily routines with it. I've done all the things that I needed to do, all the things that it needed to do. It did great, just like my iPhone. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid phone. I can't think anything bad about it. So I've gotten used to it, so I don't think I need a whole week to get a good comparison. The battery life is amazing. I end my day with 50% on this phone, just like I do with my iPhone. And yeah, I mean, I just use it the way I normally use my iPhone, and it works great. Back to the pictures, I did take a good amount of pictures because I wanted to get a sense of the cameras and how they work and how they feel. Pictures look great. They're vibrant, they're crisp, they're colorful. The camera app works pretty quickly, so I can't complain. But all the pictures on this phone look really good, and most of them are from the 12 megapixel lens. I only took maybe one or two with the 200 megapixel, which it looks good as well. So the camera app is simple to use, reminds me of the iPhone app. And speaking of iPhone, I did take one or two different shots compared to the iPhone, so you tell me which one you think is better. But yeah, I'm able to do all the things that I can on my iPhone. Everything works seamless. Alarms, signing into apps, everything works great. But I did change a few settings, so let's go over that. Okay, so starting off with some of the settings that I have made changes to. First off, we have the always on display with no wallpaper, and it's on the auto setting. So here in settings, we can go to lock screen and AOD, the always on display. And here, standard, it comes to when to show is tap to show. So if you just want to see it, then you tap it. But I prefer it to where it's completely always on, and if you want to just take a glance, it's right there. So I have it to where it's on auto, so it's just the time, widgets, notifications, and no wallpaper. So I have it just like that on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra as well. So that was one of the first changes that I've made. Next is the sunrise sunset scheduling for light and dark mode. So if we go here into, where's it at? Display, dark mode settings. I have it as turned on as scheduled. I flick that on, and then I put sunrise to sunset. That's how I use it on my iPhone as well. So I like having both light mode and dark mode. That's just how I am. I know people always look at me, and if they take a look at my phone, they always say, why do you have light mode on? You should be on dark mode. So dark mode's, I guess, a really normalized thing compared to light mode. Some people are just not used to it anymore, so I like to have both. Next, I have smaller text. I don't really like being cluttered with too much texts, and also it gives me a little more space. I have decent vision, I would say, so all of my apps are a little more spaced out, as it feels like that because of the smaller text. That's just, some people won't change that, but I do. Next is the QHD Plus display on. That doesn't come on as standard. I know this display has an upgrade over the S25 Plus and standard S25. So if I go into settings here and I go into screen resolution, the standard that it comes on is FHD plus. So I didn't know that there was one more higher. I thought its standard came with the best resolution already preset for you, but I guess you have to go into settings and manually choose that. So by the way, this display is really clear and crisp. I really enjoy it. I really do. Next is the navigation bar. As you can see, I have the little bar here. I don't have the 3 Samsung buttons. I am used to doing this everywhere I go. So this is just for me a easy switch from iOS to Android. Just a quick little navigation bar to show me where I'm going. To change that, I went into, for that I actually searched it here in the settings, which this is really convenient, and it also shows you recent searches. So here you can see I searched navigation, or I put navigation, and then it just auto-filled for me. So for lock screen notifications on Android, normally when you get notifications, they show up as icons. So you don't really see much of your notifications. You don't really get much of a preview. You just know that you got them from these apps. So I have mine set to cards, and it's kind of like iOS. You know, you get the banners, and they stay there on your home screen, and it's more, well, it's larger and it shows you a little more. It takes up a little more space as well, which I don't mind. And also I put hide content on, so when you unlock the display, it shows you what the notification is about, instead of just saying with the screen locked, it'll tell you already. So just like how it is on iOS, I have my notifications to where you unlock, it shows you what you got. So it's a little more of a privacy thing for me. I prefer it this way. It's just how it is on iOS as well. Notification pop-up style detailed. So when I get a pop-up notification, I have that set to detail instead of brief. Normally when you get a brief notification, it'll just show a brief notification, just how it shows in the image here, but I have mine set to detail, and I like it that way. It doesn't bother me too much. And lastly, I have Dolby Atmos on. So I connected my AirPods yesterday when I was at the gym. You don't get the whole Apple optimization. So here I have Dolby Atmos set on for when I am listening to music, and honestly, it did jump the quality of my headphones. Some quick things to note. Apps are a little bit different. Obviously, fonts are different as well, which is something I don't really like. I kind of like the font that Apple has. I'm just used to it, and I think it looks better, I could say. Apps also feel more optimized for iOS. There are some inconsistency when it comes to apps. There would be some apps where, like for Facebook, for example, I logged into Facebook and everything was kind of scrunched at the top, and I think that was just a bug thing, honestly. There are just some things that I have to get used to here and there. Some things that I like are the smooth animations from One UI 8 and the whole Samsung experience in general. The playful UI from One UI 8, I think it looks amazing. It feels nice, it feels simple, playful. You know, we've got these new icons I see. They feel fun, they feel great. I love it. It's something different, something new, and I think it looks good. You know, the apps look great. Everything just looks good. I love the way it looks. I'm a fan of it. I also really like the hardware of this phone. This phone looks amazing. I love this phone. Just the flat edges, the feel of it. It feels sleek. It feels crisp, if I can say it that way. It's just a very good phone, and I love the sharp corners. I love the edge-to-edge look. It just looks like a big piece of glass and metal, which, you know, it is that, but you know, it just feels very full. It's a very good design, and I love it. I love the flat edges. I love everything. The fingerprint scanner is also something that I really like as well. Just the ease of, you know, using my finger to unlock. I can just put it here. I can just put my finger here, and it automatically takes me to where I last left off, and I love it. You know, I don't have to wait. I don't have to swipe up. It's just boom, right there. Next is also something Android has the lead on it. Android Google has the lead on it, and it's Gemini versus Apple Intelligence. Apple Intelligence has been really slacking, and that's nothing new. You know, everything from Apple Intelligence has been behind, especially like the whole Siri, you know, the visual intelligence, everything has been overpromised and under-delivered from Apple. But Gemini feels great. Gemini feels very natural. Gemini answers my questions. Unlike where Siri, sometimes it's like, do you want me to search the web with that? Do you want me to use ChatGPT to answer? And it's a whole other wait process that you have to go through. So Gemini is quick, it's learning, it's fast, it's amazing. Another thing that I really like is the copy and paste clipboard. So yesterday I sent my friends a TikTok on Snapchat. The phone automatically detected that I had something on my clipboard, and when I popped up to type it or paste it, it was right there at the top ready for me to just, with one click, paste it into the message bubble. A charging indicator as well, where it tells you how much time you have left until it's fully charged. That is a game changer, I love it. The always on display, where everything is kind of concise here. You can see the little notifications, a morning brief down here where you put your finger. It's just clean, simple, and I really like this time layout. If iOS has something like that, it would be amazing. I would be a fan of it. And the now bar, or your live activities. The now bar is good. I think it's a little small, honestly. Or actually, no, if it's just here, it's perfect. I like the now bar. I like this brief here as well. And I also like the little status up here when you're playing something or when there's a live activity going on. I like how it's just here hidden at the top where the rest of the notifications and the rest of your utilities live. Now, some things that I don't like, app fonts. That Samsung doesn't use the TikTok font when it comes to things like this. It's a little more incomplete, if I can say it that way. And that's just my opinion. I know that's not truly how it is, but that's how it feels for me. Like I said, app optimization isn't completely there, I feel like, especially with the camera hardware. And this camera hardware is so good, but the apps just don't do it justice, and I feel like that's unfair. But you know, it's just one of those things. And another thing is Google and Samsung apps. So okay, we have the Google Play Store and we also have the Samsung Store. We have the gallery, but we also have Photos, Google Photos. We have Google here. Then we also have Chrome, and then we also have the internet browser. Netflix pre-installed, Facebook pre-installed. I've never even opened this Global Goals. I don't know if that's a Samsung app or not. We have Spotify and these 4 Microsoft apps, which if I wanted them on my phone, I would have downloaded them. I don't want them. So just a few little apps here and there that I don't know which ones to use. If I take a picture on my phone, it'll show up in gallery, but I always find myself using Google Photos anyways. Easy to use as well. So that's basically it though. I really like this phone. It's really amazing. Like I said, I really like, one of my favorite things is the universal back gesture, where you just go back like this. Everything is just consistent that way. Unlike iOS, where some it's here, or you can just swipe, or you gotta tap another back button somewhere else. But this is just simple. It's clean. So I guess the final part of this video is, I guess, to answer some of my own questions. Will I be switching to Android? The answer is no. As much as I really like the software, I think I enjoy more the hardware of the phone. And since I'm just a general user, I use my phone the same on both, so I don't see the point on switching over to an Android. And I guess I'm already in the Apple ecosystem, so I have the convenience of everything around me. You know, my Mac, my TV, my AirPods, everything just works so seamlessly, and I can take advantage of my favorite things about AirPods, spatial audio. Now I know there's a whole Samsung ecosystem, but you know, I'm already in the Apple ecosystem, and since I didn't miss much on Android, like I said, I'm a general user, so I use everything the same. There's no point in me switching, and as much as I really like it, you know, I'm good where I'm at. So it was fun. I really like Android, so maybe in the future I can see if I switch over. Maybe a Google Pixel, maybe a Samsung, who knows. But for now, I'll stick to an iPhone. iOS 26 just came out, so we'll see what's new with that. But thank you guys for watching. See you guys.